Yeah. Hey, my name's Danny. I'm 1/3 of the Dune Rats. Otherwise, 1/3 fuckwit of the Dune Rats.
Don't go putting that on yourself, mate. I'd say 2/3 fuckwit, bro. What are you on about?
I'm showing my big brain with maths and stuff as well.
I can speak much more better English now.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining us today, bro. Always a pleasure to chat with you.
Yeah, you too, mate.
Yeah, so there's so much going on with the Dune Rats right now, mate. I don't really know where to start, so I'm going to randomly pick your new single, Space Cadet, bro. So tell us a bit about that track musically and what you were going for with it.
Well, it's kind of just one of those ones where it started off, like any one of our songs, it's kind of like the idea in general started off with how when you're a kid, you just want to do a million things, but you don't really either have the talent to do those things or really process what it takes to actually do those things. And then the crushing realisation of your mum and dad telling you to go wash the fucking dishes up sort of brings you back down to reality. So it was kind of just started off as this like joke between us when we were writing, like that, you know, someone had to go and do the dishes and you're like, man, I'm trying to write a rock song here. And then it's like, well, you got to do the fucking dishes first, mate, like thing. And it all tied into that. So we that's where the I guess the genesis of the song started. And then like any of it, we sort of just fleshed it out and did some good like na-nas and gave it a few oohs and then bang, it was a Junie song. But it was one of those ones that Scott Horscroft, the producer, just sort of liked the overall vibe of the song as well.
Oh, cool. And the film clip tells the story of the band entering the Bangalow Billy Cart Rally with prize money of $2,000, mate. So run us through that.
Well, we kind of like, it's actually, to be fully honest, there's no prize money for that. We just had to...
Spoiler alert.
We just, yeah, but so if you're thinking of competing in it for the cash, there's no point. But for the love of Billy Cart and Billies, you should probably do it because you got to smoke a few Billies whilst you're making the cart. But yeah, like it was kind of this thing where we thought, because I'm a big fan of like movies and shit, but Dodgeball and like all that sort of stuff. And we were kids, the Little Rascals and all that. And so we thought, why don't we just do a Junie style video paying homage to those sorts of movies where we converse these kids in this billy cart race but actually beat them and sort of say fuck you to the little kids and rub their faces in the fact that we smoked them. So we thought that, you know, and then there's a bunch of little legends that we know from Byron who are our mate's kids that just started it, and they're just such little proppers. We actually thought when we get too old, fat and bald, we'll just get them to be Dune Rats like the Wiggles, you know, like how they just get other people to start doing it. We'll just sit back and drink tinnies and they can go tour for us.
Fair call. You look like you actually relived large chunks of your youth, mate, while you were making that too.
Yeah, dude. It was like well, BC's always you know, been the one that like on the training, the one that obviously has to get back into my sporting sort of physique, and he's just the ever expanding coach with the belly that's drinking beers on the bike, just pushing me along. But yeah, no, it was good to lift the check high.
And that song, of course, is taken from your recent-ish album, Real. I fucking still can't say this, mate. Real Rare Whale. Fuck you very much.
Yeah, legend. Yeah, well, that's just a gift that keeps on giving. Because the reason we named it that, we were like tossing around what to name the album, and when we told like management and our label and stuff that that's what we wanted to call it, they said that is the shittest fucking name we've ever heard. It's going to be impossible for radio to say the name, and you know, it's just not going to catch on. And we thought, what better reason to name your album that when the label tells you not to and the management tell you not to? So we sort of threw that down, and we actually dropped it because Lee McConnell, who does all our artwork, was just like, as soon as he found out that was the name of the album, he just ran away and sort of just created this weird, like, phallic-looking whale, or more like ballsack-looking whale that graces the front cover.
I even practiced for all of about 3 seconds before I rang you, mate, to make sure I could say that fucking name. And do you think I could when it came time to it? It's like me. That's me with live shows. I practice a million times, and then when it comes to the show, I fuck it up. So don't worry, I know what you're feeling. We're both fuck ups.
Yeah.
So that album with the unpronounceable name actually earned you a nomination for Best Hard Rock and Metal Album at this year's ARIAs, mate. So tell us, bro, you going to win?
Look, I reckon that if we're not, well, to be completely honest, we've actually put money on Sportsbet on all the other bands. So we're actually, even if we lose, we win. Because we worked out that if we put $100 on the Chats, $50 on North Lane, and $50 on Shehad and Thornhill, at least if we lose, we've got a fair few beers at the pub. So really, you could say that we're going to win no matter what.
What are your odds sitting at last time you looked at them, bro?
Oh, I think we quite like we started out like anything. We started out good and then we just died in the arse halfway through. So like we started out with like something like $1.90 and we've slipped up to $4. Chat's the favourites. Our good mates from the Sunny Coast. So I'll tell you what, if they win it, we'll be just as stoked because they're fucking good blokes.
Fuck yeah. Have you got a speech prepared just in case you hit the podium, mate?
No, maybe just something like about trying to turn the ARIA Award into a bong because I reckon it's screaming to have a few holes drilled into it and get a cone piece in there and get turned into a bong apparatus. So I reckon that's probably what we'll do.
Well, here's your chance, bro. Just in case it turns pear-shaped tonight, practice on it. Give me a fucking acceptance speech, just hypothetically in case you win.
In case you win, thanks a lot to our manager, Matty. Without you, we couldn't do anything, mate. And if you're out there starting a band, always follow your gut because that's all that really matters. The journey is the reward, so don't worry about these awards. They're nice and pretty, but really at the end of the day, you know, being in a band is the biggest reward you'll get. And lastly, anyone who's still playing music right now in this fucking last couple of weird-ass years, hats off to you for sticking with this industry. It's the best fucking industry in the world.
Fuck, you saved yourself there, mate. Aside from that last bit, I was going to say you no way in hell are you winning because that's the shittest speech I've ever heard. But you saved yourself for that last bit. Oh, shit. Huh?
Just happy for the 2 points. What's the other footy thing? Just happy with the 2 points. All players played well.
Fair call. And you recently also pulled off an awesome rendition of the Angels classic track. I'm ever going to see your face again for Triple J like a version. So it looked like a lot of fun, man.
Yeah, dude, it was fucking like, again, one of those things where we were getting a lot of people tell us we should do something that's real current that that the kiddies will like know and reflect on and stuff. And we're like, no, we just want to really do this song because we've loved the fucking song. We love the Angels and stuff. And we stuck to our gut and it turned out awesome because John Brewster hit us up and said, well, actually our fella at radio, hit them up because he does them as well and sort of said, the boys are doing the cover. Would you like to be a part of it? And John Brewster was like, yeah, dude, it sounds awesome. So he got his brother involved and yeah, that was literally like the first time we'd met him, the first time we even played it was that like just live, just the one take, go for it. And it was fucking amazing, dude. Just as soon as you hear that tone and that lick at the start, it just makes you instantly have a bit of an out-of-body experience where you're hearing that, you know, that obviously that iconic lead, and it was just like, yeah, it's definitely a bucket list sort of moment for us anyway.
Okay, and I swear, mate, if you pause it at the right moment, John Brewster even smiles for about 0.5 of a second, mate. How the fuck did you do that?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe he's twitching or something. I don't know. But, no, but he was really good. He had a good time and it was sick because I think that they're just hoping that a new generation gets to just experience that song and I think that, you know, that him and his brother, like, you know, it's just such an old school sort of duo that it was kind of cool for them to see the positive vibe that the crew that we hang around with are. Mm-hmm. And they were just loving the sort of the vibe of the whole experience. Our manager spoke to John this morning actually because there's a couple of things we might have on the boil early next year with them. And he was again just saying how much he really, really loved hanging out with us and just the whole thing was really sick. So yeah, man, I'm still just pinching myself.
Fuck yeah. And how did you manage to keep Dave Gleason around the studio, mate? He never usually misses an opportunity to throw his mug into something.
No, well, dude, he was there. We just had to tie him up. We hog-tied him and just and just had to make sure he wasn't in camera shot. But Dave's a fucking legend. Yeah. It was an Angel song or a Screaming Jet song. So, but we ended up going the Angels.
Shit, yeah. I noticed you actually resisted the urge to add the Aussie Yobbo fucking chorus of No Way Get Fuck Off until right at the very end too, mate. Well done. Yeah,
we just thought keep them dangling. And then there was a lot of people saying bring back the Biff as well, but we thought we'd just throw in one fucking yobbo slogan at the time.
You know that song was actually written originally for someone who died, so when people started actually screaming that as a chorus, it was actually pretty fucking rude.
Yeah, I know. Well, originally we thought, fuck, can we do this? And then we found this old interview that Doc said, look, it stopped being my song years ago. And he said when it became as big as it did, it became everyone else's song. And then when you see them walk out on stage with shirts saying, no way, get fuck off, I was like, I reckon we've got the green light to run with it, boys. And then John, I said to John, you sure this is all good? And he goes, fucking oath.
Shit on. So you guys round out this year, mate, with a couple of festivals before heading up to the far north Queensland just after Christmas, mate. Like, it's going to be fucking hot up there that time of year, mate.
Yeah, well, that's it. I'm going to be obviously just making sure I keep very hydrated with some cool beers, some Junie's Lager. So we're making sure we're bringing probably about 700 cases of Junie's Lager up to the North Queensland. And then Rolling Sets is going to be fucking epic because Sunny Coast, we haven't been there in ages. And the lineup's crazy good as well. So we're doing that. And then over to Rottnest Island where the only other time we were about to play Rottnest Island, they ended up cancelling our show because the council said that we were going to fuck with the quackers too much. Like, I don't know what's changed between now and then, but they weren't allowing our bands to play because they reckon the fucking noise levels or some shit was going to fuck with the quackers, but apparently it's all good now. So we're going to have a quacking good time.
Apparently they all quacked off, mate.
Yeah, they've all quacked off.
Then next year you guys are heading off for a 45-date run of shows through the USA, Canada, UK and Europe, mate. Like, in all honesty, mate, do you think they're ready for you?
I reckon that they are going to probably witness three dudes that look like they're about to fucking die after that many fucking shows. I don't know. We could pack it all up halfway through because, I mean, the last 2 years I've gotten pretty used to sitting on me fucking ass drinking beers, but it's going to be it's going to be good to actually touch base because right before this whole thing went down, we started getting some really good traction over there with like Reading and Leeds Festival and all that sort of stuff. So, yeah, I think that it's going to be pretty cool. The bands that we're going over with the Betty Rays, who are fucking good mates now, and they're just like, yeah, they're such a good bunch of cunts and they're great songs and shit. So it's always easy to go on tour when you get along with the band and you like their music. And then this Canadian band called Chastity from America, who are like, I was listening to them this morning and I was like, fuck, they're kind of like if like Soho and the band of Horses had sex. I reckon that's the Chastity band. So, I like Band of Horses. There's always a moment where you can probably put one of their records on, and I fucking obviously love Soho. So it's going to be good to go see those guys every night, and we're sharing a tour van with both those bands on those tours. So it always helps to break up the monotony of smelling BC's farts when there's another like 10, 12 people that have to endure it.
Sweet as. All right, Danny. Well, thanks for your time today, mate. Pleasure as per usual speaking with my man, and we shall definitely keep in contact. But best of luck tomorrow night, mate, and fucking, yeah, hopefully you lose your money but win a trophy.
Yeah, cheers, mate. Can't wait. Have a ripping night, brother.
Cheers, you too, brother. We'll chat soon.